What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the only podcast that dares to speak the truth, the raw, uncut truth about what's really going down in these streets. Today, we ain't holding back. We're diving headfirst into the cesspool of controversy surrounding the murder of Tupac Shakur. And let me tell you, the stench of deceit and betrayal is thicker than ever. We're talking about Diddy, Snoop Dogg, and even the wild theories that Tupac is still out here living his best life. Buckle up, buttercups, because this ain't for the faint of heart. We're about to expose some shit that the mainstream media won't touch with a 10-foot pole. This ain't no conspiracy theory. This is the damn truth, and it's about to get ugly. So let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the man who's been dodging bullets and allegations like Neo in The Matrix, Sean Diddy Combs. Now, for years, this cat has been walking around like he's Teflon, but the walls are closing in and the rats are starting to sing. We've seen the headlines, the legal filings, the whole damn circus. 77 mentions, people. 77 times Diddy's name popped up in connection with Tupac's murder in those new legal documents. That ain't no coincidence. That's a damn pattern. And what's the word on the street? A cool $1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1 million allegedly put on Tupac's head by Diddy. That's the kind of money that makes people do some foul shit. And it looks like Diddy was willing to pay the price. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the real dirt, courtesy of Kefi D. This cat, Dwayne Davis, has been spilling the beans, and it's making Diddy look guiltier than a stripper in church. Kefi D's been talking, and he ain't just talking, he's naming names and places. San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, Vegas. He met with Puffy at every single one of those spots. What were they talking about? You tell me. You think they were discussing the weather? Nah, they were plotting, planning, scheming. And remember that awkward breakfast clip? Diddy looking like a deer in headlights, dodging questions about Tupac's murder like a politician avoiding taxes? The man couldn't even look the interviewer in the eye. That's the look of a guilty man, plain and simple. Even 50 Cent, a man who rarely minces words, had something to say about it. He said, "I hate when they leave me with the talk because I always say the wrong thing. Maybe I said to my brother because he got Tupac killed." Now 50 ain't one to back down. And when he says something like that, you better believe there's some truth to it. He's seen the game, he knows how it works, and he ain't afraid to call out the fakes. This ain't no accidental slip of the tongue. This is a man who knows what's up. And he's letting the world know, subtly, that Diddy's hands ain't clean. And then there's the physical evidence, the cold, hard facts that sent shivers down the spines of everyone in that courtroom. Kefi D laid it all out, how Diddy took out Tupac. September 7th, 1996, Vegas. Tupac and Suge Knight at the MGM Grand, watching Mike Tyson. They spot Orlando Lane Anderson, an op in the lobby. Tupac, being Tupac, goes at him. Surveillance cameras caught it all. Tupac was pissed because Lane had stolen his chain years ago. They leave, go back to the hotel, change, and head to the club. But before they even get there, shh goes down. The white Cadillac pulls up, shots fired, and Tupac is hit. Kefi D said Tupac was reaching for his firearm, trying to defend himself, but he wasn't fast enough. Orlando Lane Anderson, the nephew, was in that car. This ain't no random act of violence. This was a calculated hit, and the pieces are starting to fit together, pointing directly at Diddy. Now, some of you might be thinking, Kefi D's just trying to save his own ass, and maybe there's some truth to that. But when you hear his emotional reaction to Tupac's passing, it makes you wonder. He said, "I hate happened, dog. It was just purity wrong." Does that sound like a man who orchestrated a murder? Or does it sound like a man who was caught up in something way bigger than himself? Something he couldn't control? It's a tangled web, folks, and the more we pull on these threads, the more we see how deep this rabbit hole goes. But Diddy ain't the only one in the hot seat. The feds are sniffing around, and they got their eyes on Snoop Dogg too. Yeah, you heard that right. Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy, all potentially facing arrest and questioning. Now, Snoop has been trying to play it cool, saying, I didn't give him no advice, right? We wasn't seeing eye to eye, right? But come on, man, we ain't stupid. Snoop was supposed to be in that BMW with Tupac, but at the last minute he dipped. Why? Because according to Snoop himself, he and Tupac had an altercation just days before the murder. He did an interview with Angie Martinez talking about how he liked Puffy and Biggie's music and wanted to work with them. And Tupac, being the loyal soldier he was, didn't like that one bit. They had a misunderstanding, and Snoop said he didn't feel comfortable around them on the flight back to LA. He even slept under a blanket with a fork, just in case. Now that's some real paranoid but it tells you how tense things were. And then Snoop drops another bombshell. He felt Tupac hated him just 2 days before he died. A week before, they were best friends, and then suddenly, Tupac's got beef with Snoop. Why? Because of some that went down in New York. Snoop said, New York, they shot at me and did all kind of to me, like just the worst you could think of. And he forgave Tupac for it. But then he goes and talks about making music with Puffy and Biggie. And that just rubbed Tupac the wrong way. Snoop admits he wasn't thinking about Tupac's emotions, just his own. But when you're in that game, emotions run high, and loyalty is everything. So when Snoop avoids getting in that car, knowing the tension, knowing the beef, it makes you wonder, did he get a tip? Did he know something was about to go down? The streets are talking, and they're saying Snoop might have known more than he's letting on. This ain't no innocent bystander situation. This is a man who was deeply entrenched in the game, and he knew the players. Now, let's get into some real mind-bending the kind of stuff that makes you question everything you thought you knew. We're talking about the viral thread that claims Tupac was a Fed. Yeah, you heard that right. A federal agent, an industry plant with a job to stop the beef between the red and blue street teams. This ain't no wild speculation. This comes from an interview with an officer, and even Tupac's longtime mentor, Chi Lumumba, a former Black Panther, confirmed it. He said Tupac was only pretending to be a thug to appeal to and politicize the streets. His thug life agenda was all about getting the gang leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then across the country. He was an intellectual prodigy using his image to achieve a bigger goal. Now, if that ain't some mind-blowing I don't know what is. And if Tupac was indeed a Fed, it makes Snoop Dogg's actions in Vegas make a whole lot more sense. If Snoop got wind that Tupac was working with the Feds, you damn right he wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. That's a death sentence in the streets. So while some might see Snoop's actions as suspicious, others might see it as a smart move, a survival tactic. This whole narrative flips the script on everything we thought we knew about Tupac and his relationships. It adds another layer of complexity, another reason why this story continues to captivate and infuriate people to this day. Now, Let's get to the real wild card, the theory that refuses to die, the one that keeps the internet buzzing and the streets talking. The idea that Tupac Shakur is still alive. Yeah, I know some of you are rolling your eyes right now, but hear me out. This ain't just some crackpot theory cooked up in a basement. This shit has legs, and it's got some heavy hitters backing it up. We're talking about Trey, a rapper who was close with Tupac, who in a 2010 interview casually dropped this bombshell. Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba. Cuba, not some dusty grave, but chilling in Cuba. And then, just 3 weeks later, a video surfaces from a news website showing a dude who looks suspiciously like Tupac chilling in a parking lot in Cuba. Coincidence? I don't think so. That video sparked the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and it's been gaining traction ever since. But it gets crazier. Suge Knight, the man who was in the car with Tupac when he got shot, has been consistently claiming for 2 decades that Tupac is alive and well. He even said it in an interview, talking about how he and Tupac were laughing and joking in the hospital before Tupac supposedly passed. Now hold up, wait a minute. Tupac was in a coma, right? So how in the hell were they laughing and joking? That shit don't add up. Suge even said in a 2008 interview that Tupac was conscious on the way to the hospital, conscious after surgery. And then, just 2 weeks after he leaked that information, Suge almost lost his life at a nightclub. 6 shots fired in his direction. He knew it was because he talked about Tupac. That ain't no coincidence. That's a warning shot. And then we got Suge Knight Jr., Suge Knight's son, making the same mistake. In 2018, he took to Instagram, boldly stating that Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. Malaysia, this ain't no random guess. This is coming from the son of the man who was there. And then he posts another photo, a text conversation, where someone tells him, "You said too much. Time for you to go." That's a direct threat, people. And then he starts posting pictures of Tupac with modern-day celebs like 50 Cent and Beyonce with the caption, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." Now, some might say it's a publicity stunt, a way for Suge Jr. to gain clout. But others, the real ones, believe it's factual. Who would know more about this than Suge Knight's son, whose father was right there on the scene? This whole Tupac is alive theory, it just won't die. And why should it? When you got inconsistencies, threats, and people who were there saying he's still breathing, you gotta wonder. The Highest Nobody article, Why the Tupac Lives Conspiracy Refuses to Die in 2024, hits it right on the head. One theory even suggests Tupac switched with a double and was flown out of Vegas by helicopter. A helicopter! That's some Hollywood shit right there. But is it so far-fetched when you consider everything else? And the YouTube videos, the cryptic lyrics, the viral sightings, it all keeps the flame alive. Even with official reports saying he's dead, the people ain't buying it. And the fact that the Tupac murder trial keeps getting delayed to 2026 with new evidence popping up, it just adds fuel to the fire. What kind of new evidence are we talking about? Is it something that confirms what we already suspect? That the greatest rapper of all time is still out there, somewhere, watching, waiting? So, what does all this mean? It means the game is rigged, the truth is buried, and the powers that be don't want us to know what really happened. We got Diddy caught up in a web of allegations, from murder to revenge rape. We got Snoop Dogg playing coy, but with a past that suggests he knew more than he let on. And we got the ghost of Tupac haunting the industry with theories of him being a Fed, or even worse, still alive and watching the chaos unfold. This ain't just about a rapper's death. This is about power, money, and control. It's about how far people will go to protect their secrets and how the truth, no matter how buried, always finds a way to surface. This story is far from over, and trust me, we'll be here digging up every last piece of dirt, exposing every lie until the real truth comes to light. Stay tuned because the next episode is going to be even crazier. Peace.